Alright, so I kind of wanted to rig on Samus again and didn't feel like streaming today, so I'm just going to record the video instead. Going to open the file first. That could be the way to go. I guess the first thing I want to show in this one is that last time, last time when I actually weighted the face, I messed things up and didn't transfer the weights properly. So I'll just do that again. Quickly, I'll just delete all the groups that I have, all the vertex groups, which in Blender represent your skinning data. So now, if I move the joints, the face doesn't move anymore. So all I need to do, delete the armature, select the face, select the joints or the skeleton armature, and I guess I can do that with automatic weights. So Control P and then with automatic weights, and I'll spend some time just forming the mesh. So now if I go into this mode, I have some actually decent weighting, but well, let's ignore the eyebrows for now because I need to, once I'm done, copy the weights from the face mesh to the eyebrows. But like it looked alright, and for the most part, yeah, it's decent. But there are some places where it's going to break, and especially the lips right here. You see that this is messed up. This is messed up as well. Like it's all messed up everywhere basically. I'm sure the eyelids are going to be broken as well. Not that bad actually. Yeah, you see like this kind of stuff. I really don't want like this sharp edge right here. It should not be like that at all. So basically when I transferred the weights from the proxy mesh to the high-res mesh, well, I just forgot to tell it to actually transfer the weights, so it didn't do anything. And when I thought I had some, I basically thought I had the transferred weights when I really just had the default weights. So if I go to the proxy and just show it and actually isolate it, I did change it during the stream. Last stream, I only had the face mask, so basically just this part and basically just that part of the face. I did end up creating the whole mesh, the whole head, because that way I just have to weight this one and yeah, basically just weight this one and transfer the weights to the high-res one. So as you can see, if I go into pose mode, I can pose the head and like the back of the head will follow. The neck kind of follows as well, even if it has some messed up vertices I might fix later. I've got all these joints weighted 100%, all the vertices weighted 100% to the, well, to the according bones. I only just have those two ones that I don't have topology for, so they just do nothing for now. But apart from that, that's pretty much it. So I'll hide this for now because I don't need it at all. I'll unhide. Nope, not that one. Hide this one. And so now that I have the armature modifier here, I'll just want to use the data transfer, which is what I used last time as well. I want to target the proxy mesh as the source object for the weight transfer. We want to check the vertex data. I had the best result using projected face interpolated. And the thing I forgot to check was to click on the vertex group. So last time I basically told it to transfer nothing based on the proxy mesh instead of transferring the weight, the vertex groups. Just in case, I'll tell it to generate the data layers, which will create all the needed vertex group. The automatic weights should have done that. I'm not quite sure why those 4 ones are there. But yeah, I'm going to ignore that. So now I don't think this is a live deformer or modifier. I'm not sure actually, I can try. This might be very slow. Yeah, okay. So it does seem like it's live because it's slowing the machine down a lot, and it's trying to basically reproject the weights. Every time I move a bone, it's trying to reproject the weights to the high-res mesh. You really don't want to have a live data transfer and no like modifier live in your rigs unless you know exactly what you're doing. So I'll just hit apply to apply the weights to my mesh, and now instead of having smooth weights, I'm going to have basically a straight line between 2 joints every time. So those straight lines will stay straight, and that means that the weights have been like linearly interpolated between my joints, which is not the end result I want, but that's super cool for now, because now, like, except for a few vertices, I have very precise weighting between my joints basically now. And I can already like start to deform the mesh using the joints. I mean, I do have some like sharp lines, which I don't want ultimately. But I think like even for the eyelids, things should work pretty well. Yeah, and like this gradient right here between these joints is super nice, and that will let me like close the eyelids really efficiently. There are like a bunch of stuff to fix, and I do get that not that curve that I don't want in the end. But yeah, as you can see, like with just a bit of tweaking, I'll be able to close the eyelids, and I just need to fix that curve right here, and I'll be good to go. And to fix that curve, well, basically all you need to do is go into weight paint mode. I don't need that. I'm going to just smooth the weights and make sure instead of active group here, I want all groups, which is going to take some time because instead of doing it on just one, oh well, maybe crash blender even. Okay, let's go back to it. So I don't need to do the first steps because what I have right now is basically the linear weights that I had just earlier. So yeah, all I want to do is basically smooth the weights and hopefully have Blender not crash. Let's see. I think it crashes again. Yep. Okay, it didn't crash the other day when I did it. I'm not sure what's wrong with that. I don't want to go into scout mode. What can I do to change how it will work? That's weird. I'll try just using not compiled from source Blender, and like using the actual stable version of Blender. Give me a second. Editing, no. Data. Samus. Okay. So does this crash? Because yeah, right now I'm not using the same I'm using the official, like the latest version of Blender, and not using like a version that I compiled myself. So let's uncheck that, smooth the weights, and apply it on all groups. Okay, yes, that worked. I might have needed to select the vertices. Okay, I'll set that to 1. And like an iteration of, I don't know. So I want to smooth it 3 times in a row, which is going to take a bit of time. And as you can see, that this particular influence got less intense here and like has a smoother gradient. So if I go into pose mode here now and I move this vertex, it's a lot smoother. And it's alright if the what do I want to do? This, if this vertex right here doesn't follow the bone exactly, that's completely fine. Yeah, these ones won't do anything, and I'll need to weight them manually because they didn't do anything on the base mesh. But this one will work now, and I get some really smooth deformation, which I didn't have during the last stream. Show the bones, and I can, yeah, this is pretty much perfect weighting right here. And this technique I used in my, I'll save that file just because I saved the weights. I used the exact same technique on my first attempt at the rig, but actually I'll open the file. Hopefully I still have the weights and everything. Give me a sec. So where do I want to go? Rig 100 work. I guess this one. So going to layout mode. Focus on that. Do I have the proxy in here? I don't think I do. Maybe, yeah, okay. So this is the proxy mesh I used, and instead of generating the joints or the bones based on the proxy, I did the opposite. I first placed the, let's show the wireframe. I first placed the joints on the face here, and then I generated the mask based on the position of the joints. And if I line those up, like the vertices of the mask, they don't line up with the topology of the mesh at all. And so the difference between this earlier version and this new version is that the proxy I used is basically exactly the high-res mesh, but without all the fluff, like the vertices, like the edges that aren't the core loops, as I call them. So I'm basically just weighting everything 1 to 1, and I have the guarantee that the interpolation, like the automatic smoothing of the weights, will give me some good results, because I have some joints bones precisely placed on the low res mesh. And yeah, if I move stuff, like if I move this one, it moves this vertex, and actually let's move that pole. So this bone is on the pole, and that will move this pole over here, because, well, it's actually precisely placed here. If I go back, and as you can see, it's placed here exactly, and the smoothing of the weights, like, it makes it so the first interpolation, like when I transfer the weights, the first interpolation between the joints is actually linear, and then so that's what gave me straight lines, and then just smoothing the weights gave me some really smooth and and precise weights, and so I can have some really nice curve now by just really letting the Blender do all the work for me, which is pretty neat because I'm very lazy. So I guess that's basically it for the weighting. I'm just going to, well, even that turned out quite nice. I'll focus on that later, I guess, because I don't really need to fix these weights right now. I will have to do that when I jumped onto the lips, because I don't want the upper lip to influence the lower lip at all, basically. So I'll have some cleanup to do there, but I mean, if we go and check the result on the eyes, that's not what I want to select. This, like this, is really good. I'll hide the wireframe, and I can start and basically close the eye now. And I mean, even the corner works really well. I might need to I will need to tweak these vertices right here, but that's all. And yeah. Anyway, so the point where I was, actually, let me show. Yeah, if you watched the earlier stream, I also cleaned up all the previous actions that I had in the previous rig that kind of stayed there in the file. So I just removed all of them, and I only have the actions that I made in the last rig. So I still have those. I might need to tweak them now because, well, they used the previous weight, even though they will probably be better than, well, what we had last time. I ended up having to regenerate the rig with Rigify, and that deleted the controls that I set up, because when I set because I basically created the controls manually in the rig that Rigify generates. So what I actually want to do is, instead of creating the controls inside of the actual rig, I need to create them into the meta rig. So I'll do that right now. If I can select this, I want to duplicate these 4 bones, move them a bit like this. How do I control them? Sorry, rename them. I'm not quite sure. I might need to rename all these face bones, which will break everything I've done. Oh, let me see. I think I'll find a quick and dirty way for now. Might end up just prefixing with CTRL right here, which I prefer not to do, but hey. Okay, and just the last one. Okay, so all these 4 bones, I want to set the Rigify. Let me save that scene and reopen it into the version I actually have Rigify loaded. Okay, so all these 4 bones, they don't need a deform bone. They do need a custom widget, and they do need a control bone. Yes, I really wish I could, in that panel, or for the super copy rig type, just assign a layer, because then since my controls, these four ones and these, are the same type, they'll end up on the same layer. I kind of don't want that. I definitely don't want that. Just copy the value to select it on all of those, just to be sure. And now I can generate the rig. So let's go back here and regenerate the rig. I failed because the rig was hidden. So let's undo this. So the rig, generate it. And okay. So you know what? I'll keep these shapes, circular shapes, because that's good enough for me. Okay, add the controls to the layer manually. That's good. So now I need to relink them to the actions, and I don't have my add-on enabled for some reason. Action man, I don't. Oh right. I just need to have that path set up so that it sees my custom add-ons, and if I refresh them, I should, yeah. And it doesn't work. Why? Can I install it from? From this? I guess not. Okay, now it works. Oh, okay, that's weird. Anyway, so I basically just need to change the control it targets. So for the bra inner in, we'll use this one and just apply the action, and this should work now. Yes. Okay, so I'll just do that quickly for all the control bra inner. And apply. Cool. Apply. I actually do it for everything quickly. This should give me all the range I need here. Okay. Let's do it for the right one. Apply this one as well. Apply. So this should give me all the range. Cool, cool, cool. Then the outer. Okay. The razor. Apply the right one. Apply. And the right one. Apply. So this should work. this should work on all 3 axes, all 3 directions. Same for this one, and same for this one. Okay, so actually let's just save over the file. I don't need to. I'll just check if I can regenerate the rig, which will surely break things. Yeah, this breaks, but now I can probably just apply, and yeah, okay, that's cool. I'll just quickly apply all the actions again. And that means it's pretty easy for me to automate actually. I just basically need to have Rigify go over all the actions and basically just click the apply button for me. So I'll do that later. I'll definitely end up making my own Rigify kind of rig type. This line looks a lot better than it did. It's still not right. And I think the reason is that this should come kind of, I'm not quite sure. Let's go into render mode, because why wouldn't we? Oh, just realized the transparent mesh here. I don't know if you can see that on the video. Hopefully you can. Actually overlaps right here. This part overlaps with the eyelid, so I'll need to fix this. Yeah. Okay, I'll just probably scale it down or something. Anyway, that's not important for now. Why she doesn't have eyelashes, and I don't care for this mesh, which I'll just disable. Hey, this looks alright actually. Let's just hide this one and even disable it from the viewport. So I'll add my controls to another layer manually. Let's add them to whatever. Or do I want to move? Let's show nothing but this and select. And this is where I'll start using the bone layers management. Sorry, it's been a while since I've used that. I don't want to hide the empty. Rename this to face. This first part will only be dedicated to controls. I guess those are controls technically. But I'll assign them to the Twix layer, which is the 7th, I think. Of selected bones, and I show them, yes. So these are Twix. I might want them to like have their own like Twix layer, but I don't know, maybe not. That's like a face Twix layer. So what is this? Left arm. I'm not really sure why I do that, because Rigify will just break the names again. That's the right arm. Or will it actually? I'm not sure. Maybe not. Let's call that torso. That's the leg. That's the right one. Cool. Actually, I'll hide the empty. This is, I don't know what it is. The root. This seems to be the deform bones. Just name it like that. It also shows all these bones, that's fine. This would be something. How does Rigify name the bones? Mechanisms. And that last one would be org, I think. Yeah, I'll just call them org because I don't know what it stands for. Probably organization. I'm not sure. I don't even know what those do because they, yeah, anyway, that's not the purpose of this. So let's hide everything except the twigs. Oh, actually, I can just have the face. But yeah, I meant to say that just like this, that looks a lot better than what it did before. Like that's a lot smoother and not as harsh as it was before. Even though I don't think it looks great still. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Last time I said I basically want to do two things. Is add a middle control on the browse and push those shapes. So if I go into the front view, which is very weird on Samus, I basically want that pose to like go at least up until you reach this line. So I'll do that first. I'll have the brow inner lower, which is probably the hardest word I could say in French. Anyway, tweaks. Let's not show this like this. Go to the last pose. And then just, yeah, I guess, you know what, I'll just select everything, Shift T, and I have a percentage that starts showing right here. So I want to push that past. Like, I wish Blender would continue after like going on my second monitor, but I guess it doesn't. Can I? No, it doesn't. Doesn't take percentages. Well, I guess I'll in betweens push pose from rest pose is a great one, which I'll add to my quick favorites because it basically yeah, the person 0 is my current pose, and if I slide, it goes like it takes the difference between the rest pose and the current pose and pushes it more. So yeah, I guess I'll do 100% and keyframe that, clean the action. Oops, Control C, Control Shift V. I clean the action. Don't need to apply anything. I'll go to the outer lower, same thing. Q this 100%. Keyframe everything. Clean the action. And clean the action. So let's hide the, what are those? Remember tweak, I don't know what these are. Anyway, does not matter at all. I'll hide the tweaks, and now I think, yeah, it might be a bit too extreme. And that bone in the middle, I'll just hide this. That looks awful. All right, so which point does it end up being bad? It looks so weird without the eyelashes and brow and yeah, and eyebrows. So okay, I guess I need to bring down the sorry, losing my train of thoughts. Okay, so go back into pose mode here, show the tweaks, and yes. So if I push these down, at some point, first of all, at which point does it become too much? The first thing I'll do is fix this line here. I guess I can kind of fix things already by just making sure that line is actually straight. So what is messing this up? Not this. That yellow color is really awful. And center. Cool. So I need to figure out which bone is making this. So that's this one. This one, again, like we saw last time, since it's in the middle and I push things more, it's actually affected by both the left and right action. So I need to go into the proper action first. So brow inner left, I'll just play that one specifically, and that's not this one, that's brow inner lower. Okay, and I just want to relax it, so Shift E 50%. Keyframe it, and I should be good. I'll just do the same on the right one, Shift E 50%, keyframe it, and okay, so it might deserve to go. Actually, I think I'll. Oh, it does it for the whole pose, does it? Not really what I want. copy that pose for this bone and Control Shift V. It just messed up because this control need to be set to 0. Put that one to 0. Wait. I know what I just did wrong. I keyframe those vertices, those bones on the wrong action. So now if I clean the action, I should only have this one. Okay. And so let's see what this does. Hide the tweaks. Okay. That's starting to be decent. And if I bring this one down now. Okay. So it's either this action that pushes these bones too much down, or this one, and I'm going to guess it's this one. Okay. So let's put that one, actually put everything down and just tweak, undo this position right here, and brow outer lower, play it, and then just find out which bone is responsible for this, and I guess it's those two. I guess that'll do. Clean the action. Copy the pose. Undo that, undo that. Copy the pose. Paste it. Clean action. Unhide the brows. Hide the tweaks. And I didn't mean to. So that curve looks nice right here. And this looks alright. And I got my straight line. So this still definitely needs some improvement, and we can see the eyelashes coming right here through the. But yeah, I do have more range now. I kind of want to push the upper section more now again. Yeah, I'm going to need to do more work on that for sure. But yeah, that straight line gives some really like disappointed look, which is pretty nice. And yeah, let's do the same for I'll save actually. 13 push brows. Okay. Brow, razor. Hide the controls, show the tweaks. And I'll just, again, push the pose 100%. Keyframe everything, clean the action. Same for this one. Push the action 100%. Clean the action. And let's do the same for the outer brows. Cool, cool, cool. And did I keyframe it? Yes, I did. Same for this one. Push it 100% and keyframe it. Clean action. And let's see how that looks. I don't want to see that. So I can now move the brows a lot higher. I do have some issues with the hair for now, but the hair is just not deforming at all, so I will not worry about that for now at all. Kind of like that. And I do want... So, from the side, this doesn't look good. This needs to be like a smooth curve. I like that this gains volume, but this does need to like bulge a bit right here and maybe smooth out right here. And I think this is looking good from the side, but the front, yeah, I think that's all right. So I'll just have this like fix the inner part so that again I get that straight line. Right now I still have that angle that I don't want. And I guess like if I create a new action, which would be my animation, not an actual action that I'll end up using, I can just start just selecting these bones and use the breakdowner to test the value that I want, which seems to be 68. I'll just copy that percentage value right here and go to my brow inner razor. Show the tweaks, select everything, Shift E, and 68 I think it was. Just paste that value. Why didn't that work? Or did it? Why is it that it pushes the pose every time where I want to relax it? I think I was hitting the wrong key. Yes, I was hitting Control E and not Shift E, that's right. Okay. Brow inner razor. And show the tweaks, not the control. Select everything, Shift E, and then 71 or whatever that value was. Right here. Keyframe everything, clean the action, copy it, and paste it. And clean the action. Again, I do need to clean the action, but I don't need to apply it, because applying it just modifies the actual values of the action constraint, so whatever this gets filled to. But I'm not modifying anything on that. I'm just modifying the actual action. It gets loaded by the action constraint. So the only case I need to apply the action would be if I include new bones into the animation, or if I decide that like the end range was something different, or if I change the control or the transform channel or whatever. But yeah, for now, this is all I need to do. And I'll go and try the rig. So get the vertical motion right here. Again, oh, actually, that does look alright now. Again, not happy with how the hair clips through the mesh. We'll change that later. And we have our straight line. I think I'll end up pushing this even more, because why the hell not? And like if it breaks, in my opinion, that's on the animator and not on me. But it's because you can make a rig that doesn't break. To me, on a rig that's meant for keyframe animation, like the animator, there's no point on limiting the animator to something that how do I say that? That looks good all the time, because, well, it's the animator's job to make things look good. And if the animator wants to have an extreme pose that uses this control like way up there, and if the animator can get that to look good, when that's all the rig needs to do. And if it breaks in most cases, but not the one that the animator wants, that's fine with me. So I'm pretty happy with that for now. This isn't great, but this is a lot better than what we had last time, and I can start to make some crazy shapes right here. And yeah, really happy with that. I'll keep this for now. I don't have like the fold on each side here, because I haven't weighted the joints. I'm a bit too lazy to do that right now, so I'll keep that like this. Yeah, that looks good. I'll definitely need to have an action that move the inner brow out, because I always feel like I hit a wall when I go back to the neutral pose. And I don't know if that's going to be useful. It just feels a lot more natural, like from a control standpoint, not from like a deformation standpoint. So yeah, might just only be useful for me, or like satisfying to use. But that's not really important. That looks pretty nice. I really like the curve that we have right now, and how we can get this curve to be really extreme. I like how those two controls give you like sharp lines, and now all I want to do is to have this in between control. Right, so the way I'll design it is that you only need those two controls to do most of the expressions, and the middle one here will be there to tweak the curves of those main expressions. And we'll see if that's good or not, because I might want to like defer some of the deformation that I have on these to the actual middle bone. I'm not sure. Mm. Because I really like how quickly you get good expressions right here. Like it's very easy to pose right now, and you can get some really sharp lines. That's, in my opinion, super crazy how you can go from like disappointed to sad to evil by just like moving 4 controls. And to intrigued. And I don't even have like eyes control. It's just browse. Crazy how the eyebrows are, yeah, help read the emotion of a character. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this middle control. I know I want it. Because like if I add it as a primary bone, like these other controls, then I can't get those shapes super quickly. Because I then need to always make sure that this bone is like placed. So yeah, I can't just like move that control up, because instead of having that sharp line, I'll have a curve that goes this and then goes, because the curve will have to go through this. But if I have that control as an additive, like layer, let's call it a layer, then I move this, and if the animator moves this, then like I move this control and I get that sharp line, but then the animator has the control over the curve right here. So the easiest to do right now is definitely that to have it as a secondary layer, and I guess I'll ask some animator friends their thought on this. Yeah, now I guess I'll do that. So what I need to do is go back to the meta rig, select these bones, duplicate them and place them like around here, and name them mid. Same for this one, mid. Cool. Colors are good. Wait. I was still in the wrong. Okay, so never mind what I just did. I did that on the wrong armature. I need to be into the meta rig, which I'll isolate. Like the face, duplicate those bones, paste them there, and flip the name. Works. Mid, and just paste the name, change that to an R. And now I need to regenerate the rig. It's feasible, so it won't crash. And let's do that. Now I get to have fun and redo everything I did manually. So let's add that to the left layer. Let's add that to the right, and the center line to the center. Cool. And I guess I'll set a visibility switch. Apply all action. That for action in bpy.data.actions if action.actionman.manage print hey, because this is how you code. And yep, so that's what I was worried about. I don't remember how my add-on actually works. So select the, if you do coding, that's probably not going to be useful to a lot of people, but if you code, this data API view of the outliner is really cool, because then you can see that's basically what you get when you manipulate the bpy.data. You basically go into that view, and then I wanted to get the actions, so the actions are stored right here. And so for each action, I would get all of this. And so then I want the action that, I guess this is named ActionMan properties. I guess it is. So that ActionMan wait. But it is named. Oh, I had a typo. ActionMan. So now if I print this, cool. Actually, I'll print that. And paste it right here and do this, comment this, run this. I have one false and then a bunch of truths because, well, that's how I have things set up. I just realized that I was hiding the code a bit. So this should be better. Cool. Yeah, I have one action that I made manually to just animate the controls, which I don't want ActionMan to manage. And then I have a bunch of actions that are managed by ActionMan, so that's good, that's what I want. And then I don't remember exactly. Like what this does. So if it is managed, I need to set this action that I get here as the active one. So set action to active and then apply it, which the apply is bpy.ups.actionman.apply. Okay, and then I just need to figure out how to set the current action, the active one. Blender set active action in Python, set active action via script, and It's easy in case you want to iterate over an amateur related action. Does Blender show what happens when I go into the action editor? Blender show what happens when I do this. Does not. I really wish we had more information here. But anyway. I guess I can find the information in here actually. So I think it's in the armature. I should clean those up. They don't need those. They are. I can't delete it from them. Anyway, animation data. Right. I don't really. That is. I think that's a useless thing now. I guess I'll try this bit of code that I just found and see if it works. So, the object. Oh, right. So, if I go into objects instead of armatures, I might get what I want. So, this one, animation data. Okay, yes. So I need to set that value to the action that I have selected. So it's, well, it's basically the bit of code that I pasted, so that's good. Object equals, and I don't need that. bpy dot data objects Samus. Cool, and then just replace ob by object because I don't like short names, and my action right here. And okay, I think that worked. So I should get things to move. Yep, cool. So now I just basically need to run that script every time I run Rigify. So this script, I mean. Actually, def run. And I'll do like print name. Yep, I meant parentheses. Okay, cool. So if name equals main, run. And I'll create a like little postscript system so that post Rigify build py, and can I import other Blender? So like import applier actions. So I want to like register that, to have that script visible from other scripts, basically. Run this text as a script on loading. I think I want that to be on. And then rig if I build, and if I run that now, nope. Did I get the right name? Just copy that, go to the other one. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. So that's not it. It text live edit. Definitely don't want that. Nope. Blender import internal Python script. That's exactly what I want to do. Hi there, very much. Basically, you need to copy scripts directory as a direct link. And that's an old thread. Right. So I think. I don't really like that idea. Wait, so can I like reload? Not reopen file. You know what? Let's forget it. Yeah, I basically need to save that into this path, and then Blender will see it. But I mean, this kind of becomes messy, and I just, because this script is tied to that character, and I don't want to have it available for every character that I see, or like every asset, or like every Blender file actually that I open. So I'm not going to go that route. I really wish you could just import another script that you have live into the scene. If I create a new and I hey, I might be able to use that actually. Python import module function from path. Cool. So oops. So module.name. It's really weird because it went from being very simple in Python 2 to being slightly more complicated, being a lot more complicated. I mean, I guess you have more control over what it does because you import the thing and then you execute the code instead of just like importing and executing in one line. Yeah, I guess I'll wrap that into my own function. Module equal def import from file. I need a module name path, and I'll replace these and these. Whoops. And I will spec, I guess that's my module. Spec.loader.exec module. And I will return module. So I think if I have this function and then let's go like this one, import from file. I want this to be named like this, and I want the path to be print file. This is the path I want. So I'll replace the backslashes with forward slashes because Python won't be happy. Good. So this should import my module. I'll name the variable like this. And then I should be able to call the run function that's inside of it. And I'll keep this condition because with that condition, I can basically just run it when I edit it. And this won't get run when we import the file. We have to manually call the function. Post-rigify build. So let's try. It doesn't work. What's wrong with that? No such file or directory. Python script failed. Well, I tried. I guess Python doesn't know how to go inside of blend files. Right, well, that's too bad. Let's not focus on that and waste too much time on it. I just want to, yeah, that's fine for now. So, let's get back to rigging this lady. Hide the console, put that into full screen. Actually, I could put that into full screen. Window full screen. There we go. Maybe not, because then my camera won't be aligned here. So I'll keep it like that. Cool. I just want to have a mid brow that goes up and down. So I need to create a new action. Did I just duplicate that one? I guess I did. Brow, inner, no, mid. Dot razor dot L. Target the mid control and the L version of it. I want to move on the Z up. So that's 1, I think. That's 1. No, it's -1. Okay, that's -1. That means... yeah, no, I'll probably fix all that later. Because I'd prefer to move positive direction when I move up and negative when I move down, but yeah. We had some issues where... oh, I won't go into that again. I explained that in the last stream. So... I'll basically keyframe that one. And Blender just froze on me. Hopefully it's not a hard freeze. Looks like it is. So let's open Blender again. Yep. And file, recover, to save. Better skinning, push browse, that looks good. Push browse. I guess that's the one I want. And I have this control, that's good. And I even have the action. I just don't seem to have Action Man loaded. And I probably just... really not sure why that doesn't work. But I can install it from the Python file, and I'm guessing I don't have this path here. Isn't the right one? Because what I understood is that this path that you specify in here will have like an add-ons folder, a scripts folder, something else, and that it would find the add-ons in here automatically. Might be confused by the presence of... yeah, anyway, it's activated now and it will work. So right, do have the completely wrong action, so I'll keyframe, move that bone up, keyframe it, undo the movement here, keyframe it, clean the action, or like this, clean the action, and now I only have this one. Cool. So yeah, basically what I'll do with this one, just move some stuff up to get that curve. Clean the action, and if I apply it, then this control will do nothing because it's not tied to the the right one, mid L. Apply, and then okay. I guess I want to move this one up. Move it up like that. And I guess I kind of want to follow the surface of the and well, first of all, copy the pose, duplicate the action, name it right, Control Shift V, keyframe everything, and now it moves only on that side. Let's target the other control. Should be good. Clean the action, apply it. Now this should move. Why am I not into rendered mode again? Oh, because I reopened Blender. Okay. We get this kind of control. Pretty good. I'll do. Oh yeah, basically. Do I still have these bone layers? Yeah, they aren't renamed. Cool. So I can select my controls, add them to the face, invert the selection, add that to the twigs, and yeah, so I can basically just now, like if I have this curve, I want to raise the brow a bit for some reason, I might just not want to move this part of the brow actually. I guess it's going to be more useful when downwards than upwards. So let's quickly do that. I'll make sure to protect the actions. That prevents Blender from deleting it. Because like if a data block isn't used, like this one, this action, if I load it right now, it's going to be used, but if I unload it, well, I guess not for some reason. But yeah, if you have an action like a data block or anything, like when the data block is the right word, that's not used by anything in Blender, when you save the file and reopen it, it gets deleted. So I do not want that to happen with all the actions, so I'll just click that checkbox thing. Anyway, brow mid, I'll copy this, lower, and I want to be the same but on this, and I'll basically, I guess I'll see if I can do that. Can I just like invert pose? push pose from rest pose, and I want to push it by negative 100%. I think I can't. Can't use it that way. Relax pose to rest pose. Alright, well, I'll do that manually. Okay, so now what that lets us do is move this, and we can like push that curve down a bit to get a curve like that instead of a straight line. Of course, I'll need to fix the weighting of the brows, which I guess I could probably do right now. Let's see that. I'll try to transfer the weights of the low res mesh, maybe. Data transfer, proxy, vertex data. We check this, generate thing. Okay, yeah, I forgot one thing, so let's start over. Data transfer, proxy, vertex, project face interpolated, generate this, apply. Alrighty, that's not very good. What happens if I why is it painted to a lot of these? God, I really wish Blender had better editing tools, like weight painting tools. I don't get what. The to do if I copy that. Okay, that's fine. Just want to copy the weights of this one. this one. Copy this. Yeah. Copy this. I think that's good enough for now. Yeah, okay. So I don't want to do it that way. I want to copy the weights from the head mesh. Vertex data. Generate layers, apply. And then I kind of want to copy this that way. Kind of the other way around, basically. Copy that. And I'll call that good enough for now. Probably need to do the same over here. Okay, how does that look? Wanna go up? That's alright. Yeah. Not really interested in doing a much better job right now. That's going to be good enough. Now, why is this broken? That I don't get. And it's not like Blender had like mirror options, you know. So I guess I'll fix this manually. I'm not sure what I'm doing anymore. Yeah. I want this to follow this. This to follow this. Basically, these to follow this one. Same for these. These to follow this. Ones to follow this one. Again, I might just not know Blender's weighting tool well enough. What does that look like? Okay, like double transformation. Don't really want. Also, the brows seem to not touch the face somehow. That's, you know what? I guess I want all the vertices to use the same weight. That's where I'd want to copy the weights from this, which I don't think I can. Select invert box, birds, weights. Yeah, I mean that's super limited. I guess I could like the wireframe. I could like average weights. Like blur them. Oh, I need to. Yeah, I really am not comfortable with that. Anyway, that looks awful. Do, 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 do. I really want that one to be half the weight of these two. I'm not sure how to do it properly. Yeah, let's pretend that is good enough. We've spent too much time on that for the what we're doing right now. So that's good. That's also decent. Got some deformation issues as well right here. Go into the bone layers, tweaks, copy the pose. Clean the action, right control, apply it, and we should have everything working left and right. Yeah. I'll fix that. And that's the last thing I'll fix. So didn't select the proper text here. Copy. Paste. Nope. Yeah. That's just messed up now. I am going to be too lazy. What did that give me as a result when I transferred the weights? I'm going to save that file. Midbrow. I'll stay in a neutral pose. That's probably why it's messed up. That's wrong mesh selected. Nope. How about I transfer things with a different solution? So head all layers, generate the layers, and I'm going to use nearest face instead of projected face. That might be better. Let's see. That's not bad. Cool. So we can finally see how that looks. So let's say I want to have those brows. Didn't I make them go higher? I already have some issues. That control is messed up now. Anyway, yes. Yeah, what I meant to do is that now if I move this one up, I get like that line right here. I can get more control over the arc of the shape. That obviously needs more work here. Like these bones might want to be rotated so that we get that nice curve right there. But this looks alright. I want to understand why this one is messed up. So that's the brow outer razor right. Probably just need to. Oh, right. Blender doesn't like hidden bones. I don't know. I mean, I kind of know why, because when something is hidden in Blender, it's kind of like it doesn't exist. So yeah, when you apply the action, you need to have the bones actually visible. And like the arrow tells you that. I guess, no? I guess it realized it didn't need to apply it. Anyway, that does not matter. This is applied twice now? Wait. Wow. So how do I debug that? I go on to one of the bones and it's affected by this one, which uses, that's odd. Okay. Brow dot mid, what was it? So this one needs to be called R. And which one was it? Brow mid razor. Use the brow. You know what? I will run the script. Yeah. I had some of my actions that weren't set up. Do I get symmetrical results? I do. If I move this up. This is what I was saying that I might not want to have. Well, basically, like you move this up and then you move this up and then you kind of want to move that back down. I don't know. I like that you have the ability to push the curves more, like drop them down. Though I don't understand why this one is messed up. Mid, lower left. There's something really freaky going on. I think I have one action in that's there twice. good. On mid razor left is good. Mid lower right, that's good. Mid lower left, that's good. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, right now the kind of issue that I have is that yes, this gets into the shape easily. Without, it's just 2 controls. And yes, you can change the shape, whatever you have, even if that the curve we have right now isn't good. The issue is that, well, the animator might want to just quickly select everything, and then you don't get the shape you want. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do with those mid controls. I don't like that shape at all. Yeah, let's fix that shape, and I think I'll stop there. Mid lower, that's on the right action. I want to show the tweaks, and I want to go there, and I want to move this down. And bit tricky because yeah, need to do that again. Yeah, I was saying it's a bit tricky because of that sharp corner right here. It leads to this shape. And I can't really do things cleanly, can I? Yeah. Anyway. Copy the pose. Paste it. Clean the action. I need to apply it because I added more bones. Apply this one as well. And see the result. So get this. Might even want. Yeah, it's not quite there. Like the shape we have isn't great. I kind of like. I'm still not sure if that's the good behavior to like. Why do I have that twice again? Did they use less? I don't get it, man. Oh, right. Yeah, because some of the bones have an action from Midler. Yeah, okay, so basically I messed up when I duplicated the actions and I like added too many I'll try to explain it. If I remove, yeah, so this action still had constraint over to these bones here. Now if I add it again, I should be fine. This really needs to go at least as high as this. Right, I think I'm happy with the result we have right now. That's pretty neat. I'll just make sure with some animator friends if I like if they like the fact that you really only need those two controls to create the broad shapes, and then you can fine tune the yep, you can fine tune the shape with this. So I mean, I do think it's good. I don't think you'd end up with too much counter animation, which is usually the problem you get with this kind of like 2 layers control. But I think like in that case, it might be alright. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. And yeah, I'll stream the next one for sure, which will be about the jaw. Then I don't think I'll make more work on that on the brows for now, because they're in a decent place. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'll set up the jaw and add a jawbone and create some mouth shapes next time, which is going to be very interesting. There are a lot of problems to solve on the mouth. Yeah, so I'm excited to get to that. I think I'll do that over the weekend. See you then.